Today we're on board Singapore Airlines flying from Bali to their home base in Singapore. We have a 2-hour journey on their 787-10. It promises to be a cracker, so come along for the ride. SQ operate multiple daily flights between the two islands, with 5 Dreamliners and a 737 MAX. Given the volume of passengers, check-in was a breeze. No queues on any cabin class. And even better for us, the gate agents were able to check our bags through to Heathrow and onto our British Airways flight later that day, making our lives a whole heap easier when changing planes. Which destination on this board would you most like to fly to? Let me know in the comments. Security was quick, sketchy and fairly sloppy, bit concerning, but it was quick. Airside now, and amongst the premium brands that you might expect, there's also a gift shop, which is really handy for those last minute Balinese mementos, even if they were all made in China. The terminal is by no means large, so it doesn't take long to clear the shops and head to the gate. This isn't my Dreamliner, but one that departs an hour before. I've seen countless photos of 787s being patched up with speed tape. They don't seem to be aging too well, do they? Just look at this nose cone. Whilst we're waiting for my plane to arrive, I've got a question for you. Are you subscribed yet? YouTube tells me that over 95% of you watching right now are not, which means you're going to miss out on this video of the Korean Airlines A330 and this one on the world's last passenger 767-300 that I flew last week. How about Virgin Atlantic too? I'm pushing for 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so go on, help me out, it's free, and there's plenty more than those 3 flights coming along in the next few months. This beauty landing now is our aircraft today, 9 Victor Sierra Charlie Alpha, and the longest variant of 787, the 787-10. Built in 2018 and 5.5 years old when I flew on board. The livery is kinda timeless, isn't it? I don't feel like it's ever aged. Classy, premium, cultural nods. Boarding was super efficient and done by group number. We held off to one of the last as we're group 6. If you're enjoying the video so far, how about a like? Every like goes a long way to help YouTube recommend this video to people just like you and helps the video grow. Go on, it's free and it would really mean a lot. This is only my 2nd time flying Singapore Airlines and I'm always struck by the warmth and friendliness of the crew when you get on board. Singapore Airlines only operate the -10 variant of the 787 with a cabin configured for the higher density short to medium haul flights. Business class takes up the space in front of the wing and everywhere behind the second doors features economy. There's 301 well-specced economy seats for an aircraft with an average flight length of around 5 hours. And you'll be joining me here today in row 42. On the seat you'll find this squishy pillow. The seat back features a drinks holder, which doubles up as a phone holder, or a headphone holder. The main affair is the big IFE screen, and to the side of that you've got your crew call bell, reading light activation switches, plus USB-C power and a headphone jack. All easily findable and accessible. I mentioned the cup holder. Nice that it's not attached to the main table, which incidentally is below and you can use this as a half or a full table. And if that's not enough, it being a table, it also has a mirror too. Hi there. Here's the full-size adjustable table. Oh, and there's a universal power socket down here. Legroom is aplenty, and all in all, it's a seat that wouldn't be out of place on an ultra long haul flight. It almost seems a bit over-specced and out of place on an aircraft that only really flies regional routes. The ever fabulous safety video was played next.
May differ from that of other aircraft. Please give us your attention as we bring you through this important safety briefing and on a journey through Singapore.
With that, we're on the runway, ready to take off. Our track today sees us take off and head to the east, taking in the island sights and then heading direct to Singapore. are no paper menus in economy, but Singapore Airlines app helpfully lets you know what the catering options will be a few days before the flight. A reminder, this flight is only 2 hours in length and there's food. You can even choose specific meals to meet your dietary requirements if needed. There's a comprehensive drink selection too. Here's Morven's roasted chicken with fragrant rice and Chinese greens. And here's my beef goulash with a bread roll and some butter. There's also coffee cake. The food was okay, the chicken was certainly the better option in my opinion, and I don't have a problem with the cheapish cardboard presentation. It's economy, it's a short flight, so anything here is a bonus in my eyes. And what else is a bonus? It's a cocktail, which the crew retrieved from the galley at our request. A Singapore sling on Singapore Airlines is almost as iconic as a Singapore sling in the Raffles Hotel. Although, the one that we had in the hotel was much nicer, albeit much more expensive. So how are you going to keep entertained for 2 hours if not for food and cocktails? Well, how about the Chris World in-flight entertainment system? The screen itself is a good size, it's intuitive and responsive, it's a touchscreen right at your fingertips, and I found plenty of content that I wanted to watch, but in truth I just didn't have time to. I settled on a Vettel documentary and some F1, and there's actually a bunch of F1 content on there. We flew this just before the Singapore Grand Prix, so it kind of made sense it was topical. The free earphones were fairly standard if I'm honest, but I had to use these given there is no Bluetooth connectivity built into the system, perhaps my only gripe here. Looking more at the seat now, and I'm a big fan of these adjustable headrests with sturdy ears that you can bend in. A fully retractable armrest, which is also a big win in my book. The seats also have a good degree of recline, overall a nice design, and I like the scattered blue and grey colours. I ventured down the plane to the bathroom at the rear to stretch my legs. This is one of two where the centre seats would be, or sort of on the dash 9 and 8 where you get the crew steps to the overhead compartment where they would rest. I appreciate the toothpaste and toothbrush. And why are these foot pedal bins not standard on all aircraft bathrooms? So much better. Walking back through the cabin, you get a real sense of how much longer the 787-10 is versus its smaller siblings. The in-flight map is produced by Voyager 3D, one of the best systems that I've found, and it's really intuitive to use, has plenty of different views and shows you all the information you could need. A quick mention on Wi-Fi, which is free if you're a KrisFlyer member or in business. For economy though, if you're none of those, it's looking at $8.99 US for 3 hours, or just under $4 for 1 hour. We're approaching Singapore now, so let's line up and head on down. As you can probably tell, I'm a bit of a fanboy with this airline. They've consistently been superb and exceeded my expectations every time I've flown on them. It's like everything they do is a notch above what's actually needed, that extra mile that makes you feel as though they're going out of their way to make your experience a good one. I paid £100 for Morven's seat plus 11 quid for that specific seat number, and my ticket was under an Aegean Airlines redemption. That set me back £15 plus 17,500 miles. My redemption I'd consider quite good value compared to paying the £100 cash fare, especially as these miles were sort of sitting in a dormant account that would have gone to waste otherwise. We landed on 20 right, slightly ahead of time, and we're on stand disembarking a few minutes later. So what did you think of this flight? Would you choose Singapore Airlines over Air Asia? As always, thanks for watching. Please do support the video and the channel with a share, like, comment, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks very much, and we will see you next time.